Hey guys, it's Joe Eurell here. Uh, I'm doing another Tito video because wouldn't you know it, this guy is the gift that keeps on giving as far as comedy goes. Now, I don't know if you heard, but last night there was supposed to be a vote of no confidence in Mayor Pro Tem Ortiz because there have been a lot of backlash from the community, a lot of support for Tito too. So, about 50-50 support versus, you know, not support. Uh, but there's been some backlash. Now, I did a video sort of poking fun at Tito not being able to cut it as a city council member. And it did well. It got a lot of views. Thank you. But I wasn't gonna do another video, but there was a vote. There was supposed to be a vote of no confidence last night. They tabled it, but I want to talk today about why that happened, and here's the reason. Uh, this is from over New Year's. Tito threw a public tantrum at TK Burgers when he was asked to wear a mask.
So every Sunday I always come to TK Burger. So they won't let me order unless I have a mask to come in. First time all year that I've actually been forced to wear a mask. But I'm not wearing a mask. TK Burger, lose my business, you lose HV's business. So
Oops. Thanks, Facebook. Thanks. But yeah, so you can see Tito, it said, TK Burger is making me wear a mask. We all know the real reason he doesn't want to wear a mask. It's because he doesn't know how to put one on. It's confusing. Which year do you do first? But and the other, he said, you lose my business, you lose HB's business. As if TK Burger relies solely on Tito Ortiz coming in every Sunday, refusing to wear a mask. Alright? He's, way to be big headed, Tito. You already got the big head, but now you got a real big head thinking that TK Burger needs you. Okay? Tito needs TK Burger, not the other way around. But, by the way, we all know the real reason he's throwing a tantrum at TK Burger is because every time he goes in there, probably alone, eating quietly in the corner. But we all know the real reason, okay? Because he goes in there and he tries to get them to go at Tito Burger, okay? But they won't do it. So finally, they asked him, Tito, put on a mask. I guess he was hungover, in a bad mood, threw a public tantrum. There was a lot of backlash, so they decided the other city council meetings decided enough's enough that they were going to have a vote of no confidence to remove him as mayor pro tem because, the mayor pro tem is supposed to step in absence of the mayor. And Tito, according to a lot of the community, and as you'll hear his fellow council members, Tito wasn't acting like a public servant or a leader. But I want Tito to defend himself. So I queued this up. and we're gonna, hear what Tito has to say. Cause I mean, I'm gonna interject because, like I said, he's got brain damage. I got brain damage. I can translate for you guys. Awesome.
Let me start by saying I really appreciate all the calls and texts and emails of encouragement. This has probably been the hardest night of my time. I've received some really good messages from the people of Huntington Beach. I love the support that have touched me and my family beyond anything I could ever imagine. I take tremendous pride in being a homegrown resident of here in Huntington Beach. As a man of Mexican roots, I've had the experience, the good, the bad, the ugly of growing up in Huntington Beach, which has been traditionally inclusive of all races. But there's been a few uncomfortable expectations when I was a young man.
I think he means experience, not expectations.
Beaner. I was called a wetback. I was called a border jumper. Although hurtful, I didn't let those ignorant comments mold the man I am today. At an early age, I grew up without a father and a home guidance to support me. I realized I had to make a decision to make my dreams come true. I chose not to be a victim and simply to work hard and achieve my goals and my objectives. My ticket out of poverty and helplessness came from my athletic ability, which surfaced when I joined the wrestling team at Huntington Beach High School.
Okay, none of this has anything to do with him refusing to wear a mask and, as you'll hear, not showing up to these meetings. And you can tell everybody feels that way because they're all rolling their eyes or not paying attention because they know he's bobbering on.
I achieved all CIF honors at Huntington Beach High School, then moved on to Golden West Junior College where I got my AA degree along with 2-time state championship earnings. I got a wrestling scholarship at Cal State Bakersfield and was approached to compete the mixed martial arts event of Ultimate Fighting Championship. I pounced on the opportunity to compete, and within a year, I became a world champion, which I defeated our.
Why is he reading his own Wikipedia in the first person? I don't know.
He defended 6 consecutive times, which later inducted me into the Hall of Fame. I achieved many things during my boyhood dreams, including buying my mother a home and buying this home here in Huntington Harbor. I've been blessed to visit the troops who served in our Iraq War over 6 times and have the honor to work with former President Donald Trump on Celebrity Apprentice. And I did last 8 weeks with him. Last year,
nobody cares how long you were on The Apprentice or how soon Donald Trump told you you're fired, Tito. Alright? You couldn't keep a job at TNA Wrestling. Alright? Nobody cares.
Facing uncertain with this arrival of the pandemic. Simultaneously, we silently experienced BLM and Antifa becoming as synonymous with cities of being burned down and looting across America. It seems like a distant problem until it wasn't. Los Angeles, Long Beach, Santa Monica, Santa Ana, and other cities were experiencing fires, looting, and Huntington Beach was targeted for BLM on May 31st of 2020. Huntington Beach residents rallied to board up downtown businesses and made a stand.
See, he's lying about those protests in order to pander to racist elements in Huntington Beach. I've seen bigger riots after the U.S. Open, alright? There were, he's lying about, there being looting or burning. And in the cases where, like in Minneapolis, there was a police station burned down, but it was burned down by the Boogaloo Boys. a far-right militia. And you see the far-right militias showing up to Black Lives Matter protests in order to cause trouble, to distract from a legitimate civil rights demonstration. And Tito frankly is pandering to racist elements in Huntington Beach. And the only reason he ran for city council is because when he pulled his little PR stunt on May 31st, Chuck Liddell showed up and stole all his thunder again. So he's lying here, to validate his own stupidity and obstinance.
Protect the buildings from the destruction we collectively seen on television for months. This did not sit well with BLM organizers who vowed on social media to return to Huntington Beach and burn it down to finish the job on June 6th. At this point,
that never happened, all right? And he's making it up. I mean, I know that one of the symptoms of CTE is hallucinations. I think Tito might need some sort of CAT scan because he's inventing fantasy scenarios to make himself seem legitimate.
My protective instinct surfaced, so I contacted 30 of my friends, 4 of my special force friends, and
Number one, I'm not going to make fun of somebody who can barely talk because I have my own problems, but good God, he can't get that out. But also, hey Tito, did your protective instinct kick in when you had those multiple incidences of domestic violence and DUI? Where was your protective instinct then? All right.
I did not let them achieve their goal. We stood in front of Huntington Surface Sport for 10 hours, along with 1,200 residents, to protect the buildings of downtown Huntington Beach from any problems that would happen or anything that would happen for downtown Huntington Beach. At this moment, I thought to myself, I wanted to find a way to give back to my city, which eventually made me the decision to run for city council. We ran a nonstop campaign of 3 months. I worked tirelessly 6 days a week for 3 months. I had the distinct honor to meet with thousands of Huntington Beach residents and their neighborhoods throughout the city. The residents of Huntington Beach awarded my efforts and provided me with the most votes in Huntington Beach history politics of 42,246.
This is what happens when you let a make-a-wish go to City Hall.
I loved and encouragement I received daily reinforced my commitment to be the hardest working councilman I could possibly be. On January 7th, December 2020, I was sworn in as Mayor Pro Tem of Huntington Beach. I quickly found out my journey has inspired many Hispanic Republicans, Democrats, and independents who believe they too can achieve their political goals and aspirations. Unfortunately, as a Hispanic with an R next to my name, I flash back to my youth when I was called the racist names because of my Mexican heritage. But now it has been repeated attacks by the so-called woke people because of political interpretation of science, which varies greatly.
So he's trying to claim that because people want him to wear a mask and take the pandemic seriously, they're being racist against his Mexican heritage. What a crock. What a crock. In Huntington Beach, where he's from, and I live and I'm from, he's being a kook. That's bull. That's just wrong. I mean, he's in trouble because he threw a temper tantrum about having to wear a mask. Has nothing to do with his race or anything like that. And he knows that, and I mean, yeah, let's keep going.
Depends on what state you live in. Huntington Beach has been criticized for many years of its lack of Hispanic representation in city council. And now as a Mexican American, I realize how difficult it is of some fellow council members to accept my leadership position as mayor pro tem. I've been in office for less than 2 months, and current mayor Kim Carr, Mike Posey, Daniel Pamick, and city manager Oliver Chi have collectively conspired against me with the incentive from their friends working at LA Times and the Orange County Register. Recently, I made it downtown business owners to Thursday. Met independently with the energy experts to gain complete.
So here he's.
I hope you guys don't make this decision.
And said, please don't come. Tito's making a spectacle out of this whole thing.
Owners, a city council member came, and I believe Kim Carr, you were posted on that text of to be there, and you said you were going to be there, and you did not show up.
And I also said I would only go there if you would wear a mask. I wasn't going to be a part of an event.
So basically, he was bragging about a bunch of ancillary stuff he did. He passed out turkeys. Hey, even gangsters pass out turkeys, Tito. And the other stuff I fast forwarded through was him advocating for reopening policies, which don't take the pandemic seriously. So I'm not going to give him platform by letting him brag about him using his position as city councilman, as mayor pro tem, to ignore the pandemic.
And in fact, the Kiwanis Club called me on my way there and said, please don't come. Tito's making a spectacle out of this whole thing.
Well, okay, let me go ahead and include. I supported the Kiwanis Club before Christmas by handing out presents and taking pictures with the recipients. That was what they asked me on a 30-minute base of coming down and doing this.
What a diva. Oh, they asked me to be there on 30 minutes notice. Hey, you're a public servant, man. You care about your community. This ain't Cameo, it's city council.
You were going to be there, but I went there, and no other city council members showed up. I met with concerning citizens multiple times at Edison Park and HPD to address the pervasive homeless problem. I met with owners from the Hyatt, the Hilton, to assist with their reopening plans. I met with the owners of Bella Terra of HB to assist with the reopening plans. I met in.
Yeah, so he's bragging more and more about stigmatizing homeless people, you know, because he believes the only people that matter are his fellow friends in Huntington Harbor. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit through some of this. You know,
The will of the people who loudly cast their votes and able to represent that I'll fight for them. God bless. I hope you guys don't make this decision. I made mistakes in my life. The things that I did, they were wrong. And I take full, complete responsibility of these things. I'm willing to work hard. On my birthday, the day after, I got sick. I've been sick since. I'm thankful that it's not COVID. I stand here before every one of my constituents and all 6 of you. Give me a chance to prove myself. I have been attacked nonstop by not only social media, but the CBS, ABC, LA Times, the Register of nonstop attacking me. You want to know why I've been on the defensive mode? Because you guys have nonstop attacked me. difference between this
baby.
and then the fight game, in the fight game, I get to get in the cage, I get to compete against another man, and we shake hands and we say, okay. With this, I don't get nothing like that.
Hey, everybody, newsflash. Being on city council is different from being in the UFC octagon. Thank you, Captain Obvious, Tito Ortiz. Now, notice says he takes full responsibility, right? You're gonna see here that he indeed does not, alright? I thought I had it queued up, alright. Now, here's where we find out Barbara Dilglaze is gonna table the motion and not vote on the vote of no confidence. They're gonna give him a chance. So she's explaining why.
What stops you from doing that? I mean, there is so much information out there to enhance your talent, to express in a way that, you could be a real leader here in Orange County.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's no doubt in my mind. And I think, what you could also do? You could actually be a healer. There's numerous of us on the council that get smeared every day. I can't even believe it. Some of the stuff that's said about me. I sleep with the developers. I get money from the developers. No. I'm a 42-year realtor in this community, very, very proud. And I don't know what happens to people when they start talking on Facebook.
First of all, I just think it's really sad that somebody said that to this poor lady. I mean, I'm a roast comedian, and that's somebody's, relative, and that's just really sad, but let's keep going.
And
multiply that by 100. Multiply by 100, and it's been nationally for me.
Yes,
by 100.
Yes.
Okay. And then on Friday, I went to my doctor to see if I had COVID, and I was negative.
Yeah.
And first thing he walked in, he said, this mask is BS, Tito. Because
I'll tell you what's BS, Tito. That story never happened. You know what? I can do that too. Last Tuesday, I did Riverdance. See, I can make up stories too.
Residents don't think it's BS, Tito. Your residents don't think it's BS. Yes, you had some people.
Well, the doctor, there's more than one doctor that tells me the same situation.
See, I didn't make up the rules. I'm just telling you.
Because I say it's the truth. Because when I see doctors come out and talk out about it, and if I post exactly what they're saying, I get debunked automatically without.
Yeah, Tito, you get debunked because you're presenting fraudulent information. Okay? That's why. You know what? Let me fast forward a little bit to Mike Posey. Now, this is when my point is proven. Tito can't keep up. Tito's not qualified to be on the city council. And Mike Posey is gonna go into that right now. Sorry guys, I'm new to this. So yeah, here we go. Watch Mike Posey break down why Tito's not qualified.
Councilmember Moser or Councilmember Peterson? I thought I saw somebody's hand. Either? Posey, okay.
Yes, Mr. Ortiz, you and I sat together twice at IHOP when you were announcing your campaign, and I asked you why you were running, and we had a short conversation, and I left. And I also offered my help. We had another conversation at the POA golf tournament, and in between, at that first meeting, I suggest that you get a copy of the budget and a copy of the charter.
And I did.
I asked Mr. Chi to get a hard copy of the budget for you and a copy of the charter for you. And when I saw you at the golf tournament, I said, look at the budget. This is the guiding document for really what we do. This is about the single most important thing that we do is look at the budget. And we don't just bless the budget like some people say. We make substitute motions to change the budget. We decide how money is going to be spent. And I suggested to you to look at spending anomalies and revenue anomalies.
Yeah.
You
And I
remember
said, if you want my help,
anomaly.
call me anytime. You never called, so I figured you got it all figured out. You don't need me. After the election, I called your cell phone and I left you a voicemail. And I said, Tito, congratulations. Let's get together for coffee or lunch or something. I said, I specifically remember, I said, I have no agenda. I just want to get to know you. When I ran for council, I met with every single council member, and even some of them came to my house that were the polar opposite politically. We're still friends. You didn't call. I can't make you call. I can't make you do anything. But I tried. The meetings that you've blown off, Economic Development Committee, as Mayor Pro Tem, there are two specific committees that you must go to.
Hold on one second, though. I called.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I still have the floor. 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 I still have the floor.
Councilmember Posey does have the floor. I will definitely give right back to you, Mr. Ortiz.
If it's where a UFC fight, Mike Posey just scored like 2 points from all the judges.
Development Committee, you didn't go to. IRC is another critically important committee. IRC is Intergovernmental Relations. At Intergovernmental Relations, those on the committee get briefed by our lobbyists on what bills are coming and grant application opportunities. That means that you, as the Mayor Pro Tem, if the mayor can't go to Sacramento to ask for a grant or lobby for some legislation, you couldn't go because you weren't briefed. I would go.
Tito's like, oh, we're boxers.
Somebody else would go, but you wouldn't go because you weren't briefed. So, is there a seriousness to your commitment? I would hope so. I mean, yeah, you got 41,000 votes, but you got 14.5% and a record turnout. 41,000 votes is an impressive number, but 14% is only 1 percentage point higher than the previous vote getter in a non-presidential cycle. So it's impressive, but you got to be realistic. It's 1 percentage point greater than the last election cycle.
He's completely lost. Okay, he doesn't understand anything that guy just said.
Agenda review. You should need agenda review too, because agenda review.
It's like, I don't even believe in gender review.
Is where the agenda is laid out for the next city council meeting. If you have to sit in the place of the mayor, you're going to be getting the agenda cold. You're going to be starting from scratch. You won't know what's on the agenda. Just like Barbara said, and Mayor Kim Carr said, everybody else said, that they had standing meetings with the city manager. So did I, especially when I was new. Fred Wilson and I had a meeting every Tuesday, even non-city council cycles. It was every Tuesday at 2:30, 3 o'clock. It was very flexible. It was a half hour to an hour. I went to the League of Cities for the new city council member orientation. I went to ACC new city council member orientation. I went to every place I could go to absorb as much information as I could, and made friends with every council member that was in the city or within the county, and got involved on regional boards. That's why I love SCAG. I'm passionate about SCAG. I'm passionate about a lot of other things too. But you have to love this job, and you have to be committed to this job. And I haven't seen it. I have seen exactly the polar opposite. And it's disappointing because you have celebrity, I guess. I don't know anything about MMA, but everybody tells me you're famous. I'm going to take their word for it. You have the ability to draw voters in, and you have the.
Now, I want to close on this. That, you know, they basically proved me right. They basically explained that Tito doesn't take the job seriously. He doesn't even ask for help, where he's clearly in over his head. He's got a big head, so that's how you know he's deep in there. But I think what we can take from this near 30-minute video is one important thing. I was right. Tito couldn't keep up as city council, not because he wasn't smart enough, but because he thinks it's beneath him. He thinks, oh, I'm a big, strong UFC patriot. I don't need any of that nerd stuff, committee meetings, workshops. But really, we all know the real reason, Tito. You're not going to those workshops because you can barely read aloud. You can barely read aloud. Alright? So just do us all a favor. Resign. Or at least resign as Mayor Pro Tem. Because you're barely qualified to be a city council member. No, you know what? I'm being nice. You're not qualified to be a city council member, but you're damn sure not qualified to be mayor. Alright, so do us all a favor and resign. And everybody else, please subscribe to my YouTube and watch my comedy and share it with people you like. Thank you.